How's it going, everyone? So this video did not exist. I looked for it and it's just not there. So I have to make it myself. This is for me and my family, but I'm gonna share it with anyone else who needs this video. My wife and I were at Brass Armadillo. It's an antique store, and we found this really cool game, EVO, The Last Gasp of the Dinosaurs, which reminded me of my favorite video game growing up, EVO, Search for Eden. But when I sat down with my kids after dinner to play the game, my wife and my kids and all, there was no easy way to just pick up and go. And usually what we do is we look up a quick video, and none existed, and the rules don't even show us the board game pieces. So it would reference something, and we would have to guess what it was talking about. So this is my 1-minute intro. Let's get into the video. This game is all about, what drew me in was the ability to make our own dinosaur. Everyone gets this dinosaur card, and you need to make your own dinosaur, which I thought my kids would just think is fantastic. I think it's fantastic. And your dinosaurs move around the board, and this is the goal of the game. The goal of the game is to score as many evolutionary, genetic points, whatever, as possible. There's a score tracker along the outside, much like the Ticket to Ride board. And as you play, you have these little things and you keep track of where your points are around this board. And unlike Ticket to Ride, you don't do it at the end, you do it throughout the game. And you actually spend your points as you go to unlock evolutions for your dinosaur, which is really fun. So you have to kind of strategize, don't spend too many points and lose the game. Though for me, I'm just going to try to make the coolest dinosaur possible, and I don't care if I win, I just want to have fun with my dino. Now, you get points by having your dinosaurs survive the end of the round. How do you survive the end of the round? Well, the real question there is, how do your dinosaurs die, right? So you have these dinosaurs and they go on the board, and they can die when dinosaurs fight one another. I'll go into fighting in a moment. Or they can die, the world is ending, a meteor is coming, and the tectonic plates are shifting, and the environment is going crazy. And so some places it randomly becomes too hot for dinosaurs, too cold for dinosaurs, and dinosaurs have to migrate and get to their survivable zones so they don't die. Or they have to build a dinosaur that can survive heat and cold. So the way the game goes is everyone has their dinosaurs. You can also spawn, a big part of the game is spawning new dinosaurs, having little dino babies. So that being said, you'll have your dinosaurs on the board, the climate shifts, and the round begins. So the very beginning of the round, the climate shifts, and you got to get to a survivable place. So you'll generate that. We'll get into that in a second. And you got to get your dinosaurs to where it's survivable by either killing a dinosaur who's in a spot that's going to help it survive, or just defending your spot, or keeping. So whatever the case may be, you got to get your dinosaurs in the safe zones and not lose combats to other dinosaurs and eat other dinosaurs so that you win and don't die. Right. So that's how you play the game. You move your dinosaurs around to keep them alive. You evolve your dinosaurs to make them either, more survivable or more warlike. And you want to end the game. Everything's genetic points at the end. So you could build the biggest, baddest, most survivable dino, but you spent so many points to do it that you're now behind and you lose the game. Okay, so that's the premise of the game. Let's get into how to play this game. So first of all, the rules are very clear on some points and they suck at others. Where they're clear, I'm going to be vague because you just read the rule book. But it tells you how to pick the board. There's different board sizes based on the amount of players. The rules are very clear there. Where it was not clear, everyone gets a dinosaur card. Rules are very clear there. Everyone gets 3 of these cards. Rules were very clear there. These cards alter the game at certain points. They tell you what to play them, so just obey the card. Very easy. I don't need to go into that. However, you don't ever draw on more cards either unless the game tells you to, and we'll get into that and how you get more cards. So, but everyone gets 3, and that's the only 3 you get unless the game specifies otherwise. Okay, so everyone picks a color, and we got to start the game. So How do we start it? Well, everyone gets their dino card and they get one dino because they have one egg on their dinosaur. One egg, one dino. And you pick the white star spot closest to you. There's these little white stars on the map. And you go to the nearest one. And so go to the nearest one towards you. I'll just put mine here. And your other players will go on there. Okay, so now we need to figure out who goes first, how initiative goes. Initiative will typically go, whichever dinosaur has the longest tail will have the most turns. And so what that means is you'll get these tail pieces later. At gene points, you get these little extensions of tail. So whoever has the most of these gets to go first. But to start the game, everyone's tied. So you got to roll the dice to break the ties. So we'll break the tie. And okay, everyone rolls. You know, you can't have any ties. And this is the initiative tracker here. So everyone will place their green marker on the initiative tracker to determine who goes first, who goes second, so on and so forth. Now, before the game can officially begin, we've got the initiative figured out, so we know what's going to happen first turn, who's going to go first. We need to place this meteor tracker, this little thing. It doesn't show you in the rules, but this is what it is. And it's going to go here based on how many players you have. Now I heard someone did review the game and said this version can go to 2 players if you want. So I would just start it here if you're 2 players. Me and my wife wanted to play first, but we were like, oh, it needs 3 players. We could have just played anyways. Every turn you move this meteor thing up along the track until you get to the spots where it has the dice on it. And then every turn you roll the dice. On a 1 or a 2, the game ends. I got a 3, the game continues. On a 1, 2, or 3, the game ends. I got a 1, the game's over, right? And then it'll officially end if it hits the sunspot. That means no matter what, the game's over. And when the game's over, you'll take your last round, and then you'll see how the game plays out. So the first thing you do, have your initiatives. Oh, and then we need to know what's going to happen on the map. So every turn, we need to know what places are dangerous, what places are safe. And this is where the weather comes into play. So first I'll explain your dinosaur, and then I'll explain the weather and the map and all that. So this is literally the largest part of the game, is just surviving. So if you have fur, you can survive cold places. If you have parasols, you can survive hot places. I wish they had like wings or something to, I don't like that it's like everything's you're building a dinosaur and then he's got a parasol. That's kind of lame. But either way, still looks fun. So when your dinosaur winds up in a hot spot, you can only have as many dinosaurs alive. So like if the board's filled with dinosaurs and it's like, okay, some of them are in hot spots, some are not. I can only have as many dinosaurs in hot spots as I have parasols. I can only have as many dinosaurs in cold spots as I have fur. And then there's 2 spots on the map that will be A-okay, and the other one is death. You're gonna die. And it's not always 2 either. So let me explain how that works. So this is our map. Now this is just intimidating to look at. This is our weather map. So it starts here. This little black dot tells you what it is. And there's these little marks on here that tell you what to do. So when you roll, I got a 6, and it tells you on a 3, 4, 5, or 6, I'm gonna move in the direction of the arrow. If I got a 1, I would have gone back. No matter whether you go on a 2, it would have stayed the same. So so the way that it works is the spot to the left becomes, and there's a chart to follow. If you don't want to follow the chart, you want a quick rule of thumb. What I realized is that the place to the right becomes cold. Green is perfect where it's on. Anywhere where this is perfect. This tells you the zones you want to be on. And you can see gray, there's gray areas. Brown, there's brown areas. Green, there's green areas. Yellow or beach, there's beach areas, okay? So whatever point it's on, survivable, not too hot, not too cold, just right. But if you're gonna be in the spot to the right, in the beach now, you're gonna need some parasols to survive there. So you're gonna need some You're gonna need parasols there. So if you only have one parasol, which you start with one, make sure only one dinosaur is on a beach, okay? As many dinosaurs as you want can be on green. And if you're gonna be on brown, you need fur to survive there. So if you only have one piece of fur, which you start with one, make sure that you have a dinosaur on a brown spot, like right, for the amount of fur you have. Now, if you're on gray, you're dead. So get off the gray. That's how that works. So as it goes over, now to show you, brown is survivable. Gray is going to be too cold. Green is going to be too hot. And beaches are death. It's Death Valley. It's the Arizona desert. You're going to die out there. So get off the beaches and get to one of these other zones. That's how it goes. Now, when it's in a corner here, whether here or over here, let's say it's this one, that means that these places are both, I believe, too cold. And so gray is just right. Brown is cold, so you need fur. And then there are no warm spots. These are just death, death and death. Over here, beaches are just right. Grass valleys are a little warm. And then these are death and death. So this tells you where you need to move your dinosaurs. And if there's someone in the way of where you want to go, you need to kill that person's dinosaur so you can get your dinosaur there and survive. So as you play this game, you're going to get horns. If your dinosaur doesn't have any horns, you can't attack. You're not a warlike dinosaur. But if you can put a horn on your dinosaur, then I'll put mine right here, make him a unicorn. Got a unicorn dinosaur. Then you're allowed to attack if you have at least one horn. So the way that works is you roll the die and there's a chart that tells you whether you win or lose. It's all in there. I don't like looking up charts with my kids. I'm an old school Warhammer player, so I grew up doing it. But for my own kids, I want to keep it light. I want to keep it simple. I want to keep the game moving. So I made this custom dice, which is kind of based on the second version of this game, which I don't own, barely have seen. I just watched a video on that. Even then, there's not someone telling you how to play that game. But you roll this dice if you want to attack someone else's dinosaur. If you get a X, it means you lose. There's one X. There are 3 equal signs. Equal means if you have the same amount of horns or more, then you win. So if you have 1, your opponent has 1, then you win. And if you get a plus, that just means if you have more horns, you win. It's an auto win. So pluses are always auto wins if you have more horns. So that kind of makes the game for fighting much easier. Otherwise, if you want to make your own dice, it's 1x, 2 pluses, 3 equal signs. Very easy. Otherwise, just roll the die, look at the chart, that'll tell you how to play. Now, what's cool about the game, we're almost done. I like short videos, but this game's a little bit more complex. I like it, anytime I'm looking for a how to play video, I'm looking for like a 4-minute one. But when you start the game, what am I forgetting? I haven't even played yet. We sat down to play last night, couldn't find a video. We played Exploding Minions instead. And we had a great time. That's a great game. But figure out the initiative, roll for the climate, move. Okay, once you move your dinosaurs, so step 1, you begin the game, everyone rolls. Turn 1, everyone rolls to see who goes first. Every turn after that, whoever has the longest tail goes first. If there's any ties, you roll to resolve those ties, okay? But all the players, step 1, get put on the initiative tracker. Step 2, roll for climate, so you know where to move, where to go. Step 3, move. So each player will take their turn moving their dinosaurs and fighting their dinosaurs. That's part of moving. And once everyone gets settled, you go through the track, everyone takes their turn, everyone moves. Now it's time for survival and mutation. And so this is where you count how many dinosaurs you have on the board. So let's say this is the map. I've got 4 dinosaurs, turn 1. I'm going to go up to 4 points, okay? So I get 4 points on my dino. So I'm here. And let's say my opponent has 10 because they're beating me, okay? So you draw out of this bag, you're going to draw some of these tokens, and these tokens are different pieces of dinosaur. So we got some fur, that'll help you survive longer, more fur, longer tail, or surviving cold, get to go first. Let's say dino egg, that's going to be to get more dinosaurs per round every turn. After the moves, you get as many dinosaurs as you have eggs on your card. Everyone starts with 1. So you'll generate more dinos based on how many eggs you have. And then this one will allow you to draw another super powerful break the game card, okay? So we're looking at this map. You put out 1 per player. We're gonna play with 5 players, so I put out 5. But for the sake of argument and time, I just have 2 out right now. Let's say that I want more dinosaurs. I wanna make more dino babies. So I'm gonna take my initiative tracker here, and I'm gonna say I want the egg, and that's free. It's 0 points for the egg. Now, my wife goes, I wanna make more dino babies. And so she says, I'll do it for 1. Well, I really wanna make more dino babies. So I'm gonna say, well, I'm gonna do it for 5. Now, I can't actually do it. I'm gonna do it for 4, right? Because I've got 4 dino points. And what will happen is if I win, I get the egg, it goes on my dinosaur card. However, I go back 1, 2, 3, 4 points, right? But let's say my wife is like, no, I want dino babies, I want them. And so she spends 6. Well, I can't spend 6 because I only got 4 points. So she will beat me. Her tracker goes down to 4. She gets the egg. And I'm gonna have to put mine somewhere else. Oh, fine, I'll get more fur, you know. And so everyone will end up getting something, possibly even for free, if nobody really wants to haggle and you know, bid. But that's how it works. And then a new round begins. And so that's pretty much the game. You're gonna go until that meteor hits, and when the meteor hits, you count up whoever's in the lead on this tracker wins, and that's the game. So you get more genetic points based on how many dinosaurs are on the board, and you keep your dinosaurs on the board by beating other dinosaurs in fights and moving to temperate zones. 16-minute how to play. I think I covered everything. This video is for me and my family tonight because I'm gonna pack this all away, and kids are at school, wife's at work, and I've got some free time, so I'm doing this. But tonight after dinner, we're gonna bring it back out. I'll watch this video to remind myself how to play and teach my family how to play, and we're gonna have a great time. So I hope this has been helpful to maybe another dad or mom or older brother out there. If you can find this game, it looked very fun. It seems like kind of a rare game, so I think I'm the only video on YouTube that does an actual how to play, which is dumb, but someone had to do it, so I guess it was me. But I'm not a board game YouTuber, so do not like, do not comment, do not subscribe. You'll be disappointed. All right, God bless you guys. Have a great day. Bye.